Hello everyone! Halloween isn't very far away anymore, so it was about time that I started making my apothecary display. I invite you to tag along, get inspired and learn a few tips and tricks here and there. Let's get started! So for starters, I collected a few bottles. This one was a syrup bottle. These were also vitamins and stuff. These two I bought in our local thrift shop. And this one, there was balsamic vinegar in there. I chose a label for each of these bottles and I made some of them a bit smaller to fit the bottles. So for this jar I have this label. The Halloween Shop Dr. Boneman's Legacy Bone Dust Handle Without Care. Quick tip, if you would like to fill your bottles with something dust, bone dust, grave dust, coffin dust, whatever dust, just buy some cheap white pepper in bulk and there's your dust. This label was made smaller so it would fit one side. And I'm going to use some tacky glue to apply the label. And this way I can actually move the label a bit and work with it. It was quite a generous amount. In the middle, and there you go. You can leave it like this, but if you like, you can carefully squeeze the label a bit and see you get these really nice crunches in the label, and it makes it look instantly very old. I really like this technique. If you want just some wrinkles, just pull it out and voila, lots of wrinkles. Now this bottle doesn't have a cap anymore, but I'm going to use the technique I used for the previous Halloween bottle video. And what I did there was take a piece of brown paper. It's quite hard, just packing paper. And I'm going to crumple it a bit. Pull it open again, and I'm going to wet it with just plain water. Completely wet one side. And what the water does, it makes it so manageable. I'm going to squeeze it a bit more. You have to be a bit more careful, of course, not to tear it. But look at that. That's very nice. What I'm doing here is I'm taking a water-soluble pencil, it's brown, and I'm just going over the edges to make the edges look a bit more brown. You can use some ink too, of course, no problem. Water-soluble pencils, the name says it, when it's wet, it's like paint, it acts like paint. This paper is still a bit wet, so it's already smudging out a bit, just to make a nice edge. See? If you like, you can add another layer. See, it gets a bit of a burnt effect on there, you see? I'm not using a technique, I'm just coloring the edges. Anyone can do. Oh, sorry, but this is too straight. This has to go. Yeah, much better. Smudge it out. See? The edges are just a bit darker. Crumple it a bit more. And then I want to attach it here. And in the previous video I used a bit of rope. But now I'm going to experiment with some wax. I'm going to turn it over. I have a burning candle right here. And I'm going to just drop a lot of wax on here. It's going to go on the inside, so don't worry about the color of the wax. Two things. Don't burn yourself. Don't burn your house down. So don't come too close with the flame to the paper. Now the grease from the candle wax will make the other side of the paper very old looking. Plus it sticks to the top, so if you want to use some fillings and use this technique, fill it up first, of course. There. See? Gotten a bit greasy, and now I'm going to fold the waxy paper over the top and really press it in the sides. See? And it looks very blotchy and greasy. And now the wax is going to set, and this thing isn't going anywhere again. If you have a brown candle, you can put some molten wax over there. You can make the label a bit dirtier by adding some paint. I'm adding some chocolate brown scribblings with my water-soluble pencil. I just decided I want to apply something around here anyway, because I think it's a bit bare. And I have some needle thread here. I'm just going to wrap it around and see what it gives. A lot of times, because it's a very, very fine thread. Yeah. And I'm going to attach this to the string. Make a knot. There. That looks very nice. Now for this bottle, I'm not going to do very much. I already attached the label and you see the lovely creases here. I squeeze it a bit again. The label says the Fantasy Apothecary Dodo Drops. I'm just going to fill it with black peppercorns. I have a funnel here. I filled it because it is transparent and I really wanted to put something in there. Now for the cork, I'm just going to age it a bit with some brown, dark brown acrylic paint and a bit of water. And then I'm going to rub it off again. I added a few drops of brown acrylic paint. Raw umber is the color. And then I'm just going to rub on this with a very wet brush. And then just wipe it off a bit and your cork looks a lot older now. You can use black, of course, if you like. And to finish off this bottle, I'm going to put a piece of lace around the neck. This is some cotton lace ribbon. There. And here we have our bottle. Now for this bottle, I'm going to try to age the glass with some sandpaper, because this is transparent too, but I don't want it to look too new. Ideally, you use some sandpaper of around 150 grit, and I don't have that. I have very rough sandpaper, 60 grit, and I have very fine sandpaper, 280. I'm going to try with the 280. Now, if you're buying sandpaper for this, go for about 150. I think that would be awesome. Let's try to make some bigger scratches. Okay, this is definitely working. Look at that, but it's still not aged enough for me. I've seen somewhere a trick to age your transparent bottles, and that is by using wood glue. And just put some on an area. Take your sponge and just dab it over there. I really like where this is going. Next area. Spread it out thinly and dab it in to get an old weathered look. So this bottle has glue on every side and my fingerprints are all over it. And I'm going to let it dry until it's ready. I'm going to tackle the top too. Let's put this aside. And this one, I'm going to already give this one a label. Witch's Brew, who dares? The Potion Brewery Halloween Limited Edition. Get this on. And in here you can put a liquid, because it's a brew. Gonna make some creases again. And colored glass, of course. You can get some wood glue on that too, to make it less transparent. Going to define the edges a bit more with the black watercolor pencil. Because of the glue, the label is still a bit wet, so you might tear it a bit, but hey, that's kind of the point, isn't it? Don't have to be neat. We're going to change it up in a minute. So I did the whole edge. Then we take a wet brush and just paint over it. There. And I still have some brown paint left from aging the cork, and I'm going to splatter some of that on, you see? I'm going to leave this bottle as it is because I think it's very pretty already. And by now our frosted glass is dry, you see? And you feel the glue, but it doesn't stick anymore at all. So it's very rough, it's very patchy. If you want to worsen it up, take some watertown paint, go over it, take a paper towel or a rag. The glue will become wet again, of course, so you can just let it dry for a bit. Same with the lid. The wood glue has dried and it's completely touchable now. Just don't make it wet. Don't make it wet. And it has a very dirty look about it, and I love that. And now I only have to put the label on. Oh, with the label it even looks more icky. I didn't immediately find something to put in there, but then I thought I could put a piece of cloth in there. And I found some of this black piece of cloth. I'm just going to put that in there, put the lid on, and yes, that looks old and nasty. It's perfect. If you have some friends that you think would be very interested in this video, please share. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to our channel. And if you want to be the first to know that we've uploaded a new video, click on the bell. We're giving these crafting printables away to those who subscribe to our newsletter. Here's how. Click on the subscribe link below, click on the button I want this now and fill in your information. When you've done that, simply click submit. You'll receive an email with a confirmation link. Click that link and moments later you'll receive another email with a download link for your freebies.